Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another heavy metal diecast video, of course, and we've got one here from DeAgostini in 1/72nd scale diecast. It is an Aichi B7A Ryusei, which I think is translates to shooting star, and the Allies did codename these Grace. And these were a carrier, torpedo, and dive bomber made by Japan, of course, during World War II. They were produced between 1942 to 1945 with 114 aircraft made in all their variants, and they were used by the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service. But a severe earthquake in May of 1945 would destroy the factory where they were being assembled, unfortunately for them. And there was only one aircraft carrier modern enough to operate these particular aircraft, but it would be sunk before enough B7As were actually able to be brought on board. And so they would actually be forced to fly off land bases while another aircraft carrier was being made. The second aircraft carrier that was finally completed that would carry these was the Shinano, but that too would be sunk just 10 days after it was commissioned. So they were not in a good situation. But we are in a good situation to check out this pretty cool looking model. So what we'll do is we'll stop talking and open this packet up, of course, and check out this little Aichi B7A. And well, let's just open this up like an animal. How about that? Beautiful. So this is the cool magazine that they do come with. If you do buy yours, I do get a lot of mine, probably most of mine loose, but I do occasionally get one that does have the magazine. And of course, those ones were I was getting from Japan, so they are in Japanese, obviously. So if you can speak Japanese, well, that is pretty cool. I obviously cannot, but it does have some, pictures and stuff like that you can look at if you feel like doing that. We'll turf that out of the way. We will get this lid section off, and we have this. It is a decent size, as you can see. It's a pretty decent sized bird, this one. It is in that usual packet that we normally have, but we will, of course, have to cut this open, and we will go get a blade to do that and open this up for you. I suppose we'll get this little blade out and see if we can get a bit of a start. That's better. A little bit of cutting. We can get this open and get our hands on this cool looking aircraft. And it does have a little torpedo, as you can see in there, and obviously some landing gear options, but we better turn it the right way up so we can open this packet and check that out. That does look pretty cool. I mean, as I said, these are a cheaper brand. They're not going to be the most insane quality or anything, but they will be pretty cool because they haven't been too bad, some of these ones that we've been getting, and they don't break the bank. So there is the little baggie there that does have some landing gear options, of course. We'll turf that out of the way. And enclosed here is the stand underneath, and we do need to do a little bit of assembly, but we will check out this aircraft first. Without that, we'll start underneath, since we already got it turned over. It does look like a little bit of an oily residue there, but let's have a look at some of those details. They're not overly deep, but they're not too bad. These ones I've been getting relatively cheap. I think I was getting them for like $25, something like that. $25, $30. They were pretty cheap. I mean, cheap compared to, something like Corgi or something. But I don't know if that's supposed to simulate some bombs on there, but it doesn't look like anything in the packet to put there, so that is weird. But I think that is, obviously where your stand will go. That's the stand hole there. And there is a little tail wheel that we'll be having to put in the back there. And of course your landing gear is going to go straight in there. And the front does have a little bit of detail there. It does already have the pitted tube on there. It does have some gun details, which is pretty cool. Let's see if we can have a look at some of the details on the wings, which aren't too bad. Try and get some of that light to show that up. There are no pilot figures in it. It is an empty aircraft. It does have some nice tail markings there. Look, overall, it's not too bad. And as I usually sort of say, a lot of these DeAgostini ones are of sometimes obscure aircraft that you don't really get a lot of die-cast opportunities to get. So, they are worth getting some of these if you're trying to, get a little bit of variety in your collection. Of course, this is definitely another one to add. So what we'll do, though, is we will assemble this aircraft so we can check it out properly and come right back. Alright, so we've got it gear down first. Straightforward process. You just put 2 little gear bay doors in there, and your main landing gear does go on there. The big old 03 right on there. You do put that torpedo there. If I'm going to be honest, that torpedo is pretty shit. It does look a little bit weird, and it does sort of look a little bit out of shape too. So I don't think that'll be hitting its target if it was ever launched. Also, the same with the arrestor hook. When you put it in the hole, it does sort of protrude. Now, I don't think it'll be hanging out like that all the time. I think it should be more flush. You could probably bend it down into its correct position, I suppose. The tail will just drop straight in. I'm still weird about that. I don't know why they've got there. Maybe it was an afterthought. They forgot there's supposed to be bombs there, but they couldn't be bothered putting it in the packet. Propeller goes on really nice. Does spin very freely. That looks fine. And of course you do put the little aerial on top of the canopy there. And that is a job done. All set up, ready to display. So depending on your fuss level, if you'll be happy with this, I don't know. If you're really fussy with your particular models, you probably won't be 100% keen on this particular one. But if you're trying to get different types of aircraft, this will be one to fill up a grace gap. So I reckon it does sort of look okay. I think it's all right. It's not the best, of course. It is not fantastic, but it was only $25, $30, so I don't expect it to be absolutely fantastic. We'll see how this landing gear goes, because it is quite a heavy model. It does sit on the landing gear, but this is quite heavy, and the landing gear is quite simple. So, yeah, I just wanted to spin that propeller again. But what we'll do, don't worry, I haven't forgotten you flyboys. Jeez. What we'll do is we'll quickly chuck this in flight and come right back so you guys can check that out. All right, we're back. Go on, bring out your aeroplane noises. You can do it. So this is in flight. It sets up nicely, very straightforward. The only thing you've got to do is swap out the gear bay doors just for the landing gear options. Now, these tended to sort of drop out. So I did put a little bit of blue tack in there just to keep them in place so they don't drop out. So that is all cool. One thing maybe you have noticed as well, there's no number on that. On the landing gear, there's the number, but on these gear bay doors, they forgot to put the number on. But, it's just another thing to show that these are not the most expensive models or the, most highest quality, which I have always stated. But sometimes these are really surprising, and they do come up absolutely fantastic. You do get some really good quality looking ones at times. But this one does fall short a little bit, but your options are very limited with getting this particular aircraft. So you've pretty much stuck, I think, with the one from DeAgostini. I don't think any other manufacturer makes one of these aircraft. So you just got to deal with it if you want one. And of course, just to whack it on the stand, you've got to take the torpedo off. So you get rid of that wonky torpedo, and you just chuck your stand in that little stand hole. It does have some little details on that stand about the aircraft, just the basic name. And that is your Aichi B7A Ryusei, or Grace. We'll just call it Grace. And all set up on flight on the stand, and looking pretty cool, of course, for you guys that like to have yours in flight. All right, so I'll take some happy snaps of Grace here and chuck them at the end of the video like usual, and you can check her out without my grubby little hands sausage finger test. It is a reasonable size for the particular aircraft. So if you liked Gracie here, give her a little bit of a thumbs up here and there, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so. All right, once again, thank you so much if you've made it this far for watching another one of our videos. I really do appreciate it. So thanks for dropping past. Stay safe and have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers.